Hello, it's High Priestess Jamila. Um, I don't really know how long I'm going to be here, but I thought that I would come over here and have this discussion.
Want to know the best way
Um,
to potentially make a big income online?
one thing that I noticed, one thing that I noticed is that it seems as though people blame witches for everything. Everything that goes wrong, every decision that another person makes, seems like they blame it on witches. So I was sitting there thinking, because I was thinking that something was glamour, a situation that was going on was glamour. But is it really glamour? Or is it just that people like to blame witches for everything? And see, this is one of the reasons why witches mainly stay in the closet, because every little mistake that people make, they want to blame it on witches. Oh, I went and did this stupid thing. Oh, maybe some so and so casted a spell on me, and that's why I did it. So then you'll have people placing blame on the innocent witch. Oh, maybe this person did this or did that. Maybe that's why so and so feels that way about me. Blame it all on the witches. I've noticed that people do that. Now, I remember a situation that arose several months ago, and the person, instead of taking responsibility, decided to blame it all on me. They decided to blame it all on me instead of taking responsibility for their own actions. Why is it that when it comes to people that don't understand anything about the occult or witchcraft, why is it that all logic goes out the front door? Because when you think about it logically, why would I cast spells or do any kind of sorcery or manipulation that would harm me directly? Why would I do that? Why would I go and cast a spell on people that I'm not even thinking about, don't even know, don't know them? Because I've had people come to me and say, I thought you did this. And I'm like, well, I don't even know that person. What the hell? Why would I go and cast spells that would make life harder on me? Why would I do that? I don't use witchcraft only in emotional situations or even if I'm in an emotional state. Although women's emotions are very powerful if you know how to direct them or if you know how to channel them, okay, which means if you know how to put them into perspective and use it, it's very powerful actually. But when you think about it, people that don't understand the craft, they tend to throw logic all the way out the door. But then you start to realize, oh, that's what it is. I'm the scapegoat. Now, why would witches be the scapegoat? Just like Jesus. was the scapegoat. Just like Jesus was a sacrifice. Witches are constantly being blamed for things that they're not doing. Then, not only that, all of the negative energy, all of the judgment that should be placed upon the person that made the decision to commit whatever act that they committed, all of that judgment is being placed upon the witch. And this is something that has been historically done, historically, over and over again. Why would a witch cast a spell? That's what it is. It's because ordinary people, they will do things to spite you no matter, even if they look illogical. And I'm a witch, I'm a woman. I can be very emotional. I can be very petty sometimes. So I can admit to that. But to cast a spell that would harm me directly would make no sense. Absolutely no sense. So then where is the logic? So here's what I want to say. I practice kitchen witchery. I practice eclectic witchery. I consider myself to be a lot of different types of witches. And see, I'm also a chaos magician as well, because, and basically, what chaos magic is when you do whatever comes to mind for that situation that you're dealing with, but never ever would a witch be dumb enough to cast a spell that would directly do harm to them. Why would I bring negativity to my own company that I love and cherish so much? Then you got to think a lot of people are at a self destructive phase. And a lot of them are acting subconsciously because they want to really destroy the environment that they are in. They want to destroy it so they can rebuild it. And when you think about it, these people really do need advice, because for me, I have had to destroy me a lot of times so that I could rebuild. And a part of that was because of the, um, folks trying to take your identity. So then you have to kind of destroy your identity. That's why my channel has went through several name changes. But when you think about it, most of the time, witches think logically, and we think a lot more logically than ordinary women that don't claim to be a witch. I think that there's a witch, a little witch in all of us personally. Um, but I'm not gonna like I don't sit around thinking about spells to cast. Like if I look at a situation and the situation does not apply to me at all, I'm not gonna be casting spells. Why would I do that? For what? It doesn't involve me. The only way that I would do work on it is if the situation directly involves me. And then I'm not a controlling person. I may be a little possessive, but I'm definitely not controlling, because a controlling witch, she's going to look at everybody's situation. It could be a complete stranger and she just want to control it. And even though she may not have a good understanding about it, having a deep level of understanding is a gift. And it's a gift that keeps on getting, because what it does is it prevents you from getting involved and involving yourselves karmically in situations that have nothing to do with you. If it's a situation that directly affects you, then it would make sense for you to take action. But for you to take action for no reason, and it just doesn't benefit you either way, what is the point? This is why you have to be responsible. when it comes to practicing the occult or anything. It can be a beautiful thing, but when you're doing things like that, it would just make no sense. I think that sometimes people have a hard time understanding that everybody doesn't think like them directly. So, for example, if you're a person that does think that way, or you would just go off just kind of go off the cliff with it, then you're going to assume that somebody else would do that. Well, I don't never assume nothing about nobody, because when you're making assumptions, that takes up way too much freaking space in your head. I can't do that. I can't make up assumptions. I tend to like to take life as it comes to me. And then I think that there's some people that are just paranoid or delusional or either guilty. One or the other, or either all three. This is one of the reasons why this is one of the reasons why we invent binding spells and things of that nature, so that people cannot do harm to you, because people can and will just do harm to you just because they're going to have to learn a valuable lesson. That's just like if you get a can of beer, usually the can of beer says drink responsibly. Same thing. They say that alcohol has spirits in it. When you're using witchcraft, you're using energy and spirits. Use those energies responsibly, because at the end of the day, the karma is going to have to come where it's going to come. And everybody is always obsessed with death and dying and this fear of death. And that's not what it's about. It's not about you dying. No, nothing ever dies. Nothing ever dies. Nobody ever dies. That's why and people have found that out. And they even blame spirits on witches. It's our fault that spirits exist. How? It's just, how is that a witch's fault that the spirits exist? Spirits can do whatever they want to do unless you tell them so. Actually, the witches are the ones that you want to trust, because witches know something called necromancy. A lot of us do. Depends on what your interest is. So if you're a witch and there's a spirit, for example, if you murder somebody and you think, "Ooh, I got rid of them because I murdered them," but they're still there because their spirit is still there. People have got to stop. Like, I'm going to tell you something. If you're not ready to understand witchcraft, then look away from it, because it's way too complicated. It's way too complicated for you to just think of it in a simple way. And the only way that you would know this is if you are a medium, or if you are able to look at certain situations and read certain situations. But I realize that there's some witches that are bitter and angry, and we love those witches too, because you people got to go through whatever they go through. Now, I don't think that people should go through stuff for 10, 20 years, but I think that it's all relevant. You know what I'm saying? But when you think about it, the things that I've been getting accused of, why would I do that? And then you got to think there's a lot of people with self-hate. I'm not a self-hating witch. I'm not a self-hating anything. So then I'm not going to do something purposely to sabotage myself. And then it's also untrustworthy people. Why in the hell would I cast a spell to hurt you if you my fucking friend? I just really want to ask that question. If I decided to take you in as my friend, And I understand that there's a lot of people that don't have the same principle because friends fuck each other over every day, even family. And those people usually live the struggle, a very hard life. Why would I make things harder on myself? So I think that there's some people that either they want me to be misunderstood or they just want to misunderstand me. Because if you have been someone that has listened to the words that have came out of my mouth for the past 6 years, then you would understand that I am on the left-hand path. I don't want to make things harder on myself. Why would I do that? And then people will think, oh, well, you're a woman, you're emotional, you're illogical. And that's no. So I think it's the fact that I think it's all about being a woman. I think it's all about being a female, which is so sad. What I see a lot of the women in this world going through. It's just very sad. Um, and how some of them are so mounted that they can't seem to get any clarity to do any better than what they're doing. And then everybody looks at me like, oh, you just think you better than everybody, or I think I'm Miss Goody Two Shoes. No, I don't. No, I don't. There's been times where people have pissed me off and I done did stuff to them and I probably shouldn't have did it to them. And I'll reverse it. My spirits will automatically reverse it. They'll say, nah, that wasn't what you were supposed to do. You were supposed to do something else. My spirits are not going to lead me down a path to be harmed either. I have very, very loving spirits. My spirits love me. So why would they make me do something to you to do harm to you that's going to do harm to me? Especially if everything is going fine. Everything's going the way that it's supposed to go. There would be no need for me to do that. So it may not be glamour, you know, I don't know nobody that's that good besides me, but I would never waste a candle on that crap. Glamour is not just beauty. Glamour is when you can make something look like something when it's actually not. That's what glamour magic is, okay? I just wouldn't do that. So it's so weird how people think, but they don't think straight. They don't think like how I would think. They think how they would think, and then they're constantly projecting how they would think or feel about a situation onto me. I felt that earlier. I felt that earlier. And I understand that sometimes it's to get a reaction, and I don't mind reacting. I don't feel guilty or bad about reacting. Sometimes you have to react to set the record straight. But it is very perplexing. It is very perplexing how people blame every decision that they make, everything that goes on in their lives. They blame it on a witch or they blame it on some witch, but some things they're done for a reason. Some things are just fate. And it's so crazy how none of the other so-called witches, well, a few of them do, you know, they don't necessarily go through that, the scapegoating. So then you think, so what am I, the all powerful seeing eye to where I made you do something? And then I made you do something that would directly do harm to me? What sense would that make? Anyway, y'all, get in my classes. If you want to learn karma free magic, that wouldn't even make any sense. I'm going to go do this and make this happen and this. But then it ends up usually affecting the person directly that does that. And then they'll say, oh, well, I'm playing chess, not checkers. Yeah, but you're doing things that are unnecessary. I'm not going to do some unnecessary crap. And then also I got accused of doing some shit so that a woman could automatically get hurt. Why would I hurt you knowing that it's going to hurt me? Why would I purposely hurt anybody knowing that it's going to hurt me as well? That, I mean, it just doesn't make any sense. And they say that common sense ain't common. Anyway, y'all, I didn't plan on being here long. I've got to go. I'm going to take me some medicine before I go to bed. I'm having like sympathetic symptoms of the COVID because my daughter has it. So, of course, as her mother, I'm going to gladly absorb that for my baby and heal her through me, through my body. So, you know, that's just what that is. All I ask is that you stop attacking my children because I'm going to tell you something. My spirits are real, real, real pissed off about that. Is that Tylenol at? Find it. There we go. Yes. Got me some Tylenol, got me some Robitussin. And I'm going to take me a little swig of it and lay myself down and go to sleep. Y'all have a good one. See y'all tomorrow. Bye-bye.